I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to V Squad TV. Taehyung's voice resounds in the Runseokjin Encore arena. Twitter explodes. No one can take his backpack. In the past few hours, social media, especially Twitter, has been buzzing with the name Kim Taehyung, also known as V of BTS. The incredible moment that took place at the Runseokjin Encore concert left the entire fandom awash in emotion. Amidst thousands of empty stadium seats during rehearsals, someone managed to capture a rare moment of Taehyung singing while carrying a backpack. The highlight wasn't just the song he sang, but also his very Taehyung style, relaxed, honest, and full of character. He stood in the middle of a row of blue seats, a large brown backpack slung over his shoulder, and a microphone in hand. As he began to belt out the opening notes of Love Me Again, the atmosphere changed instantly. His voice, sharp yet soft, echoed in the silent room and created a magical effect beyond words. The fact that it was just a practice session didn't diminish the magic of the moment. In fact, fans around the world felt like they were catching a glimpse of his most genuine self. There were no stage lights, no special effects. Just Taehyung, a microphone, and a backpack he looked like he didn't want to let go of. "No one can take the backpack away from him," wrote one fan on Twitter. That simple phrase suddenly became a symbol of warmth. The backpack seemed to be a metaphor for Taehyung's personality. Grounded, warm, and never letting go of the most personal part of himself. A short video uploaded by a fan showed Taehyung seemingly lost in his own voice. He stood alone in the massive arena, yet the world was watching him. Every note of Love Me Again fell from his lips with heartbreaking sincerity. Netizens described the moment as magical loneliness, a beautiful solitude. Even before the concert began, Taehyung's voice was already making headlines. Hashtags like #Taehyung Encore, #Love Me Again Live, and #No One Takes His Bag trended in various countries, including Korea, Japan, and Indonesia. Fans wrote that Taehyung's vocals that day felt raw but perfect. Many admitted to getting goosebumps, even tears, just listening to the rehearsal recording. "I don't know why my tears are coming out when it's just a rehearsal," wrote one army from the Philippines. What made the moment even more special was his calm expression. There were no grandiose poses or exaggerated smiles. Taehyung was simply focused on his singing. Even from a distance, it was clear that he was truly enjoying every second he spent on that empty stage. The large backpack on his back became part of the story of that day. Some fans joked that it might contain all of Taehyung's memories, while others called it the idol's aura protector. As the video went viral, some fans began comparing the studio version of Love Me Again with the newly released live rehearsal version. The result? Many claimed the live version was even more touching. Taehyung doesn't need a grand stage to showcase his talent. "His voice is enough," wrote one Twitter user. For longtime fans, this moment felt nostalgic. They remembered Taehyung's early days in BTS, when he was still performing on small stages, when he liked to carry personal belongings with him everywhere he went. Now, even though he's become a global icon, something about him remains the same. Love Me Again itself is a deeply emotional song, filled with longing and loss. When Taehyung sang it in an empty stadium, it sounded like a prayer. Every echo of his voice felt like a conversation between him and the hearts of his listeners. Fans who watched the video said they could hear his every breath. An intimacy rarely found at such large concerts emerged during this rehearsal. "That voice was too real, too human," wrote one fan from Brazil. Furthermore, Taehyung's calm body language added to the dramatic effect. Every small movement, from lifting the microphone to bowing briefly at the end of the song, made it seem as if the world stopped for a moment. Some fans present at the venue even remarked that even without any accompanying instruments, the echo of his voice filled the stadium. "The empty seats seemed to be singing along," said an eyewitness who posted a photo of Taehyung's silhouette from a distance. When the song ended, Taehyung didn't look at the camera. He simply stood still, as if talking to himself. In that silence, the audience watching from behind the scenes felt a deeper connection. After the practice video circulated, many Korean entertainment media outlets wrote about the moment, praising his vocal abilities, which remained stable even without extensive preparation. Some journalists called the performance proof that Taehyung is a true artist, not just a pop idol. On Twitter, a large fan base from various countries began remixing the practice video, adding text, slow motion, and even black and white effects to emphasize the beauty of his emotions. Many also noticed how Taehyung seemed unwilling to let go of his backpack. This symbolism became a topic of discussion, and even fan art appeared depicting Taehyung with his backpack emitting a warm glow in the middle of an empty stadium. Over time, the hashtag #LoveMeAgain echo began to climb to the top of global trends. Within hours, millions of tweets poured in, and the word goosebumps became the most frequently used word in multiple languages. Interestingly, some fans said this was Taehyung at his most honest, without a stage, without the spotlight, just him and his voice. "He's not performing. He's telling a story," wrote an army from France. Fans also felt that this moment reflected the deep connection between Taehyung and his music. "He doesn't just sing to be heard, but to be felt," wrote an account with a large international fan base. Meanwhile, a still image of him standing among blue chairs became a new symbol in the army community. The photo is now widely used as wallpaper, with the caption, "Even when the seats are empty, his voice fills them all." Ultimately, no one really knows why Taehyung still carries that backpack during rehearsals. But perhaps that's his charm. He always carries something inexplicable but always felt. Now, as the main concert approaches, fans are eagerly awaiting. They were convinced that if the rehearsal alone could make the world tremble, then the actual performance would be history. On Twitter, one comment that has now gone viral perhaps summed it all up. "He didn't just sing 'Love Me Again.' He made us all fall in love all over again with his voice." Once the Runseokjin Encore concert actually began, Taehyung's rehearsal felt like a harbinger of something bigger. As soon as the stage lights came on and Taehyung's name was announced, the cheers of the crowd shook the stadium. No sound was louder than the roar of the fans as he stepped onto the stage, this time with his signature style, still carrying the same backpack on his back. The spotlight followed his every step. The spotlight touched his serene face, as if revealing the aura of a true star who never tried too hard to shine. As he took the microphone, the stadium atmosphere turned into an almost sacred silence. Then the first notes of "Love Me Again" rang out again, this time accompanied by thousands of fans singing along. No opening music could match the sincerity that emanated from his voice.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.